Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are shifting gears a little bit. We're stepping away from the shiny world of glass cockpits, the laser ring gyros and all the satellite data links. We're basically turning off the screens, shutting down the flight management computers, and we are going back to the absolute bedrock of aviation navigation.
We're going back to basics, but I always hesitate to use that word basics because it kind of implies simple.
Right.
And as any student pilot knows, once you start peeling back the layers of these quote-unquote basic instruments, you realize they are just marvels of physics.
And that's what we're talking about today, the direct indicating compass. Now, I do want to address the elephant in the room right away.
Go for it.
I know a lot of our listeners are currently grinding through their ATPL theory exams. You're staring at these textbooks the size of doorstops, trying to memorize formulas, and you might be looking at this topic thinking, why?
Yeah, why this?
Why do I need to spend an hour obsessing over a magnet floating in a bowl of fluid when I have a GPS that can tell me my position to within 3 meters?
It is the classic student pilot lament, isn't it? Why do I need to know this archaic technology?
Exactly. It feels like learning how to use an abacus when you've got a supercomputer in your pocket.
But here's the reality, and this is why the authorities, and more importantly, the examiners, care so much about this. Screens go dark. Electrons go on strike. Electrical buses fail. And when all the magic of the modern cockpit just evaporates, what are you left with?
You're left with the standby instruments.
You're left with a magnet, gravity, and the Earth itself. The direct indicating compass is the ultimate backup because it relies on the fundamental forces of nature.
Right.
And physics, well, it generally doesn't crash. It doesn't need a software update. It might get distorted. And believe me, we are going to talk a lot about that distortion today, but the signal is always there.
So that is the mission for this deep dive. We're taking this topic, which can often feel like incredibly dry theory.
Oh, drier than the Sahara sometimes.
And we're going to turn it into proper exam-ready knowledge.
That is the goal.
We aren't just going to, read the manual. We're going to unpack how this thing is built, why it behaves the way it does, and specifically what the examiners are trying to trip you up on.
Exactly.
Because, let's be honest, the compass questions in the ATPL exams are notorious for being tricky.
They are so deceptive. You look at the instrument and it seems simple. It's just a card that spins. But to answer the questions correctly, you can't just know how to read it. You have to understand the invisible battle that's going on inside that little casing.
A battle.
It really is a battle. It's a constant three-way tug of war between the Earth's magnetic field pulling one way, gravity pulling another way, and the friction of the mechanism just trying to stop everything from moving.
Okay.
If you can visualize that battle, if you can see those forces fighting in your head, the exam questions actually become, well, not easy, but a lot more straightforward.
I love that. So let's lay out our roadmap for this session. We are going to be very structured today because we really want this stuff to stick in your memory.
Structure is absolutely key for this topic.
We're going to start with the fundamental principle, the datum. What is the compass actually pointing at? Because if you get that wrong, everything else just falls apart.
Correct. It's the foundation.
Then we're going to look at the hardware. Specifically, the difference between the vertical card compass, which, we all know and love, and the grid ring compass, which is a bit of a mystery to a lot of people.
A classic comparison question area for the exams.
After that, we're going to hit the absolute core of the theory, the big 3 requirements. If you are taking notes, you need to write these down now. Horizontality, sensitivity, and aperiodicity.
Those are the pillars. The entire legal basis for the instrument rests on those 3 words. You have to know them.
And finally, we'll wrap up with serviceability. How do you know if it's broken? And deviation, which is the enemy inside the cockpit. Ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's start at ground zero, the fundamental principle. When I look at that compass and the card swings around, what is it actually aligning with?
Okay, this is where we had to be very, very precise with our language. In aviation exams, precision...
All right. Many thanks for listening to this free part of the ATPL Theory podcast. If you want to continue learning and access the full comprehensive guide, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/ATPLtheory or my Hero at herohero.co/ATPL. That is patreon.com/ATPLtheory or herohero.co/ATPL. Wishing you all the best